For a long time, I didn't really know what I could do physically anymore. You just kind of put mental blocks in your head, and you kind of tell yourself you're tired. And you are. Life is hard, and work wears you out, but I have a thing where at a certain point I just disagree. I just say, no, I am not tired. And it just kind of becomes the truth. And it's not like I'm ignoring what my body's telling me. It's like I wasn't paying attention to begin with. And so when I finish these walks, 26 kilometers there, I'm not tired, like not even sore, and that's not because I've pushed myself to some other level, or maybe to some degree my endurance has, because I thought that I had lost all my endurance I had built up doing my walks to Beaver Lodge and preparing for them, and I thought I was going to have to do a lot more preparation to get back to the way I was, but it's like I thought the endurance was gone, but it's just still there. And so now, walks that I used to be able to do by stretching myself and straining myself a little bit, now I can just do them comfortably. Don't think I'll even have to stop at A&W. I got plenty of supplies from the dollar store still. So it'll be a nice cheap walk too. So I'm not like spending an arm and a leg or anything like that. But yeah, I feel like I'm bragging a little bit, but I just want to be honest that even though I've been sick, I feel like a deeper reintroduction to myself has happened, and the only thing I'm wondering now is how much I can carry and how much I can handle. The next step would be either trying to make a walk to Beaver Lodge and see how hard that is, or make the same walk to Clairmont again with maybe a pallet. But I've done that before, and I've gone from having trouble carrying a pallet to Clairmont and back to doing it again until it became easy. And you make the hard jobs easy by just going inch by inch, or at least in my experience, that's the way to get it done. I have no interest in increasing my running speed right now, even though I should probably work on my cardio a little bit. Heart health is important. But I find running really wears you out. But running also uses different muscles. Like you can wear out your walking muscles, and then it actually feels easier to run than to walk, because the walking prepares the running muscles. And when you need to run, you can run. But I say running is an emergency thing for me. If someone's trying to run me down or something, I'll run from them. I'm not saying that'll happen to me, but interesting things happen to me. I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to... Well, maybe I could go into... Yeah, fuck it. Let's tell that story. I remember on my first couple of attempts going to Beaver Lodge, there was just thing after thing stopping me from getting there. And on my second or maybe even my third attempt, I had made it all the way to the Wembley Museum, the dinosaur museum. Really nice museum. Got a great restaurant there. Stopped there to get food. It's like my main pit stop. It's my only real pit stop before getting to Beaver Lodge. But I had gotten there, and there was a girl, and she was cleaning out her vehicle. And I walked by her vehicle, and she's like, "Get away from my vehicle!" And I was like, "Whoa, okay, sure, no problem." And I came back out again, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Someone had just she had just given a homeless person a ride, and they ended up going to the bathroom in her vehicle." And so she was pretty pissed off. And so I understood where she was coming from. She was having a bad day. And so we get talking, and she had a joint to smoke, and we were, talking up, and I was telling her about my whole journey that I had been on to that point, and how I had conflicts with my family, and I had been thrown in the nut evaluation room and been given a clean bill of health. And she was very interested in hearing about all of my going through all of those perils, because she had also gone through them. And she had also just recently had to pull a gun away from her mom, who was pointing a gun at her. And it's like, well, that's kind of a hard to believe story, but I just met this person. I'm not going to assume they're lying to me or anything. That sounds pretty traumatic, and she seems pretty traumatized, to be honest. So I'm like, yeah, no, that sucks. But I had never taken rides from anybody at that point. I was like, no, I'm not getting into people's vehicles, like safety issues. I don't want to be taken off course. But, we got to talking, and she's like, I can drive you back to the pot store and get you a bag of weed. And I was like, I could have said, I'll wait for you here, but then I would be waiting forever, and I'd never know if she'd come back. And so I was like, yeah, okay. Let's do that. And so while we're talking and everything, she's opening up all these energy drinks, and she's pouring them out. She's like, oh, these taste gross, I don't want to drink these. And I had just been walking, I think about 12 kilometers at that, or is that 12 miles? Let me think here, 20 kilometers-ish. About 20 kilometers. I think that's around 12 miles or something like that. And so I was like, oh, I don't care if they're fake sugar, because I hate fake sugar, like sugar-free stuff that uses fake sugar. But I'll drink that stuff when I'm on the highway, because I'm like, no, don't waste any resources when you're on the highway. So I'm trying to drink these energy drinks, and while I'm getting into her vehicle, and she's zipping, and I had set down one of the energy drinks on the dashboard. Reminder, in the vehicle she had just cleaned human shit out of. And so I just made a mess in her vehicle because it tipped over, and she got really mad and just accelerated down the highway, just stomped her foot on the gas, and went at high speed. I don't know how fast we were going, and I basically begged her to please don't do this. I don't want to die. And I realized that wasn't getting to her because she was in a different mode. And so I'm like, okay, obviously you want me to clean your vehicle while we're driving at high speed. And she seemed to agree with that. And so I was like, okay, fine. And I just kind of got in the zone and washed the vehicle. And then I wasn't worried about her getting into an accident, because even though she was going high speed, she wasn't being erratic. I just trusted her as a human being not to kill us. And as I cleaned the vehicle, she calmed down. And it was all right. And we got to the pot store, and we chatted like nothing bad had just happened. It's no big deal. I'm not going to hold it against her. And we go into the pot store, and she gets me a pipe, and it's a whole thing. I didn't want the pipe, but she was doing something nice for me, and I appreciate gifts and things like that, so I'm not going to say no. I think that's insulting sometimes. But I guess she decided that I owed her something. And so she gave me her vehicle keys, and she said, go clean up the rest of the vehicle. And I was like, okay. I was a little insulted, because I thought I did a damn good job cleaning that vehicle, even though we were very close to dying at the time, it seemed like. But I don't want to be too dramatic there. It was just a little bit scary. But no, fine. I'll go in the vehicle, and I'll see if I can find another drop of energy drink to clean up. And so I'm looking around for a drop, and I see that there's this booster battery underneath the seat, and it's got like a drop of drink on it. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to piss this girl off, because she's kind of sensitive right now. And I don't know if I'm actually going to upset her by moving this battery charger. That's the state of mind I'm in right now. I'm like, am I going to piss her off by just moving this thing? Or is she going to be more pissed off if I don't clean it? And so I'm standing there And I didn't realize that the bomb had already gone off. My legs were laying behind me as far as I'm concerned. Because she's like, why did you open the driver's side door? And I'm like, boom, fuck. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to open the driver's side door. And she's like, yeah, I was in my vehicle and you were going through my stuff. And I'm like, whoa, that did not happen. I don't like the sound of this. Here's your bag of weed back. I don't feel like owing you anything right now. Let's just let's just separate our ways. And at this point, I've been driven back to town, and so my journey to Beaver Lodge has just been reset again. She was supposed to drive me back to the museum, but no, it's like, no, I'm not doing this. Like, you're accusing me of stealing from you. I'm not. And we've already had this thing where you're driving high speed. I'm not comfortable getting back in your vehicle when I'm not sure what your mood is going to make you do. I don't want to be judgmental, but I got to protect myself. And so I just walk away. And as I'm walking away, she goes, you, and steps on the gas and drives across the parking lot towards me. And I run towards the buildings we were beside. And she like stops on a dime right at, because I dropped my stuff. And she's like, you took my phone. I'm like, I swear to fucking God I didn't. And I had one more thing that she had given me. She said I could keep, which were these Bluetooth earbuds. I'm like, no. And I threw those at her because I'm like, just take it. And I didn't care if she went through my stuff, because then she can go through my stuff and see that I didn't take her shit. And maybe she'll just find her phone in her vehicle. But I ran back to the weed store and I'm like, I think I need to call the cops. Someone kind of just drove a vehicle at me. I'm not saying she tried to run me over, but she aggressively drove a vehicle at me. And so I kind of figured now would be like, if I'm going to be walking around and this person is driving around in the world, I kind of want some kind of a word out there that something happened. And yeah, I did end up, I talked to the cops a lot. I'm used to it. But that was how my journey got reset for the second or third time on that. I had a lot of unsuccessful attempts, but that was the story, and I figured I might as well tell that, because to me that's a pretty good story. There were a few details I left out. It was a lot of weirdness. Like when we went into the weed store, she's like, don't worry about this guy. Like, he's not going to do anything. And I'm like, hello. It's like, it was funny. She was really concerned that I was going to stir up some shit when I was just standing there. But I'm a guy wearing a cape, so people jump to conclusions all the time. Or she assumed they would jump to conclusions, which is fair. Yeah, I'm a little congested. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that story. And you probably noticed that I walked through the graffiti tunnel while I was telling that story. Yeah, I guess I just got nothing left to say. I'll talk to you guys later. Wish you all the luck in the world. And I want you to remember that I love you. Bye-bye.